Hey guys, welcome back to our Don't Get Screwed series. Been a while. So what's the most overlooked home inspection that so many people and even agents flake out on, like 90% of them, quite honestly, when they're in the process of purchasing a home? Well, I'll give you a little hint. So if you don't perform this inspection, the could hit the fan after closing to the tune of $15,000, $20,000, or even more than $200,000. Now, I'm talking, of course, about a wastewater inspection. Now, every home and most buildings are meant to have people, and well, people do things, and those things gotta go somewhere or be flushed somewhere. And believe me when I say you want to know where that's going and how that process itself is going. We have way too many client files where we've had inspections that turn up a popped sewer line, a collapsed cesspool, even a system missing entirely, like there's nothing there but like a hole in the ground and a bunch of hope. And believe me when I say, again, that can be a crappy and expensive experience to resolve. But by spending anywhere from about $350 to like $750 in advance with a wastewater inspection, you can actually catch this stuff before it occurs or before it becomes a problem, and either get yourself compensated for it or even get it fixed before you close the sale. Now, who are the brave souls that actually inspect this stuff? Well, either usually a licensed plumber or a certified home inspector with the right equipment. But either way, you want them generally to do four things for you if they're going to do this. One, you want them to locate the system, and they can provide you a sketch of where that is. Two, you want to make sure the proper permits are in place with the government, because you've got federal government, EPA, you've got state, you've got county to tangle with if this stuff goes wrong. Three, you want to actually have them look inside the thing with a camera or a video, and they should get footage for you, like this little fun cave adventure we're going on right now, which, by the way, actually turned up a cesspool full of water. And finally, you want them to prepare a report with their findings and their recommendations in writing for you. And if they're not doing all of those things, then really you're not getting something of value that you could potentially use later. So what if your inspection turns up something horrible in terms of wastewater issues? Well, now it's time to find out what to do about it. So your first stop for this is usually going to be recommendations from your licensed plumber or potentially the home inspector. And it could be something as simple as just having a cesspool pumped out that's full of water, like the one we encountered earlier. And they'll check the integrity of the system once they clean it out and get all the gunk out. And hopefully everything will be fine. If they find that the system itself, be it a sewer line, septic, or cesspool, where the integrity is maybe in question, they'll probably recommend you follow up with a wastewater engineer. Now, you can think of these guys as like the heart surgeons to the plumber's family doctor status when it comes to a wastewater system, right? But either way, what you want to find out is what's wrong, how do we fix it, and in writing again, at what cost. Well, let's assume again you've got something awful happening, with the house that you're buying, for example, and it's a wastewater issue. And what do we do? Okay, we've got a report in writing, we've got estimates. Now, what now? Well, if you're buying with cash, you can of course ask for a price reduction equivalent to, or at least some percentage of the work that needs to be done. However, if you're buying with a loan, you may have to have this thing repaired prior to closing. And if that's not practical or is going to take too long, your best option is probably some sort of seller credit back for closing costs, buying down an interest rate, that sort of thing. Check with your lender for the maximum credit allowed. Usually it's something like 3%. Now, just one quick side note, make sure you work with both them and your agent to make sure that the way you word that credit doesn't wreck your loan file. Underwriters aren't huge fans of wastewater issues. Now, if you can't come to some sort of resolution about things with the seller, for example, then option 3 is to eject, which honestly, that's okay. Sometimes the best thing to do is to walk away if something is not a good fit. And I'll give you a classic case example. If you, for example, have to convert like a cesspool to a septic system and there's no room on the property to install that thing, you really need to walk away, in my opinion. Check with your agent on that. Bottom line, don't force it. Just like with walking away from a bad relationship, if we love something or someone a whole bunch, it doesn't mean it's right for us. It can still land you, well, in deep shit. So, do your wastewater inspection and don't get screwed.